You are currently enduring a deep and karmic punishment, a mission, something that feels like it's tough even to receive the spiritual nourishment. However, that toughness is linked and related only to the difficulty that we have to slow down, to step into receptivity. And this is why the Sabian symbol of this new moon in Taurus is represented by a very humble Sumerian type woman who goes to the well to fill up with that water pouring in and out of the well. It represents service and humility. Everyone needs the nourishment of water, whether you are rich, whether you are poor, or anything in between. This new moon is about divine meetings, but in a humble location like a well, that are unexpected in each and every encounter that you have. And because of the new moon, we're talking about the ability to manifest the physical embodiment of this nourishment, of the sensual beauties, of the closing of very difficult and endured karmas, where our tolerance has been tested. And this is what Taurus is good at the opposite side of Scorpio, who deals with crisis through shock and revelations and in the moment and physical challenges, potentially even abuse. Taurus on the other side is the womb at 7 degrees of Taurus, where we find the beauty within the madness. We find the beauty that it takes to tolerate and essentially evolve to meet tremendous emotional truths that can only come through standing firm in the midst of tremendous change. Now, there's a T-square happening during this new moon in Taurus, and it is between Mars and Leo, who will ask us to act boldly, potentially even with pride, and to cut away from moving with that ego in a negative way that turns into one of the 7 deadly sins. And the opposition of Pluto and Aquarius is having us to literally detach from the ideals, from the collective ideals, where we are in this performance-based society, and we want to shock people because it hides one of our insecurities. Remember, this particular new moon is about a deep spiritual purification from the feminine side. And so Taurus will allow us to, with the new moon Taurus, embody and ground in these volatile energies that we may be facing while Mars was opposite Pluto, and all these other things going to happen with Leo. So it wants us to embrace the simplicity of nature and of beauty and of the focus behind, once I stick through this karmic challenge of mine, in the long run, I know through humility, through service, as I meet all of these beautiful people at the well, again, rich, poor, from this culture, that language, X, Y, and Z, I understand that there is a simplicity, there is a grounded center point between all human beings when I act and move from the heart, which is what Mars and Leo wants us to do in this square, rather than from the pride. When I act and move in alignment with humanity, which is what Aquarius wants us to do, instead of rebelling against the collective ideal just because. The new moon in Taurus will actually really bring us a fruitful beginning through discipline, through literally the death of an old karma. And this is because the ruler Venus is currently still in Pisces, and there's this ultimate and lasting understanding of what it means to embrace the divine, but in the simplest of things. Okay, something as simple as being grateful for this pencil, yeah, or the fact that I can bless this water and say thank you for bringing me a calm and safe sense of security and balance and nourishment, and for reminding me that you are so delicious. And that's what water can do. It can be charged with any energy that we put into it. So the new moon in Taurus will have us really slow down during this time and focus on feminine receptivity and embodiment of what it means to be this Venusian goddess who gets to lay around and eat grapes. And I honestly recommend that you do eat some grapes, that you take time to rest and sit for naps, and journal and write more, and take silence, and water your plants, and treat your pets well, give them an extra treat. These are the things on this new moon that, as I support my environment, the physical environment, Taurus, around me, through all of this strife that the world may be going through, instead of feeding violent narratives with this war and that oppression and this, it's about taking the moment to realize that you are not a victim and that you are sovereign. This is a lot of what this new moon wants us to know. Now, this mystic and spiritual weaver that you see on the cover of this photo is a very powerful woman who understands that this is not the end because I failed at something. This is the end of a soul contract, of a generational condition, of the silencing of my voice, of the lackluster energy to move towards my future, which is that Aquarius energy, that voice being Leo energy, Aquarius being the future, and Taurus being the now, and being present with that. And she understands that the victory is not just completing the soul cycle, but letting go of the parts of our ego, stripping them away if they do not match our current and our shifted perspective. Because the woman at the well, she looks at the water and she sees the reflection, and she's not seeing the reflection of herself. She's seeing the reflection of the essence that she embodies. She's seeing the reflection of the death doula that is saying, look, this pain you carried is not your pain. This pain you're carrying is beyond you itself. It is something that is here to die with me, not with you. You get to live and move on and be an earth goddess, which Taurus is in this Venusian energy. So it's saying you're allowed to receive, you're allowed to rest, you're allowed to embrace the simplicity of just existing without having to do anything. And I know for myself, like, I've been very, very calm in these last days after a tremendously violent weekend. Every day since has just been about peace and about simplicity and about slowing down and more breath work and more yoga, but very gentle yin yoga. I have not been doing anything. I haven't even left my house for about 3 to 4 days. I haven't been doing my work commitments, and this is all leading up to the new moon in Taurus. And to be honest, I didn't do my research until about now, but now I fully understand that this mystic lover, she wants you to say and understand that I am whole already, and through wholeness all things are possible. I have always been loved. I am literally the essence of love, and that's what the water reflection means of the Sabian symbol at 7 degrees of Taurus. And so, the thing is, when you drink this water, it's saying drink this water. It's saying cry. It's saying understand that these tears are tears of joy and rebirth, not tears of sadness, not tears of victimhood, but tears of a final and lasting spiritual victory where you have released this old identity, this old self. As the moon hides in the new moon is invisible, right? As she hides, she is embracing that dark side of herself. She is tolerating what seemed and was deemed something that I cannot have affection for as a part of myself, as a part of my worth. Yet instead, I am loving this. And if I have any pride, if I have any ego, which feeds a need of mine, it is to feed the need that I deserve rest, that I deserve this feminine embodiment of this earthly goddess who embraces the simplicity of life. So I have 5 notes of what this closing cycle looks like, and I'm going to read them here. This is what the victory looks like. All right, it's about choosing beauty, okay, over bitterness, even after the pain. That's number 1. Okay. Number 2 is releasing toxic ambitions that don't bloom with love or with peace. That's number 2. Number 3, releasing toxic ambition and shame around softness, gentleness, compassion. Okay, awesome. Number 4, receiving instead of hustling. And I talked to a good friend of mine, if she's watching this, you know who you are, recently, that you don't need to work harder. It's not the time to work harder. I told her every time I've ever made money in my business, I was laying in my bed, and that is a very true story. There was one time that I was actually mowing the lawn, but for me, that mowing the lawn was actually a meditation, and I was doing I was helping my mom. It was my mom's house, right? Like I was mowing her lawn and I wasn't working. It was just doing it as a gift. Okay, so receiving instead of hustling. And number 5, rerouting into a sacred and embodied devotion to life itself, to the essence of your soul, the essence of your being. The moon represents, the hidden parts of our soul, and the sun represents the spirit that we be. And so new moon equates to the moon at Taurus and the sun at Taurus. And so this is something that you really want to look at. So what I want to say from here is, there is a fierce womb of this Taurus energy, literally like the yoni, the portal, the door, the thing that's hiding the new versions of our worth that we boldly need to, with compassion, with heart-centered action, walk into that door, into that portal of our hidden being, our hidden selves, and actually return to the essence, to understand that there is a birth that is happening. And, in order for something to be born, something must calmly, safely, and compassionately die, right? And what's dying is the labels that Aquarius is like, I don't care about these labels. Aquarius is letting go of these labels. It's understanding that there are certain bones within your body that you have literally outgrown, right? So it's like Pluto and Capricorn is that physical bone structure that's been transforming, but now in Aquarius, it's like Aquarius is about relinquishing and transforming through lightning, through thunder, through shock, through change, through revelations, right? Through sky consciousness, through the understanding that I am more than this physical body, I am more than my mind, I am more than X, Y, and Z. And it's this remembering that your divine roles are beyond the labels itself, beyond the timelines that you can see with your two eyes in the present moment, right? Like you have to witness this with your soul at a deep internal level. And so, from here, the new beginnings are really beginnings in soulful embodiment, in devotion, and depth, and love for self, and love for nature, and love for pets, and love for inanimate objects as well. I need to love this shirt, which is just a material thing that has no soul, just as much. And as I do, and I treat that well, and I understand that harmony is the highest frequency, love is the highest frequency. The soul operates only in harmony. It does not operate in disharmony. And that's when us as human beings, we seem like there's a tremendous amount of pain going. But remember that death doula was here to say, I'm here to take away your pain. This pain was never yours, right? And so I want to say to you right here, like, let's walk in remembrance, and understand that if you're ready to go deeper, and you understand it's time to alchemize your story, to alchemize your pain, like, you can come do that with me on a one-on-one base, whether you want to book a one-off reading for your astrology chart, whether you want to do an angelic Reiki healing, and we go and we stitch things up at the soul level, okay? Your cosmic and esoteric fibers, we can go stitch those things up. If you're ready to embody your medicine, I do truly believe that everybody's life has a medicine that only they are able to embody. I can't embody it, and no one else. If you're ready to rise to ritual and transform through astrology and ancestral healing, these are something that I'm offering. Like, you can come get this with me on a one-on-one level, or you can get this done within our membership, and that is just as powerful, potent in plenty of ways, because I think that this is the Pluto Aquarius of the groups, and the minds coming together from different sects, from different thought processes, that brainstorm in ways and hears things outside of their own culture that ultimately transform them. And I had an old member of mine who was with us for a good time, actually, more than a year. And he recently has said, like, wow, like this has got me to move independently and leave my job and start to earn incomes for myself. And that brought me so much joy, because it's one of my huge missions as a soul on this life cycle, in this lifetime, to help people to be free, to be sovereign, to walk their path. So this is the new moon in Taurus. I am Pernell, your Ayurveda shaman, helping other shamans to redream, to reawaken to the fact that you don't want to wake up, you're here to dream the dream, and from that space you are a co-creator with spirit. And our shamanic prayer class within a one-on-one mentorship is one of my favorite classes, one of the highest ranked course materials that I've done with people on a one-on-one. They're like, look, we need more like this, you should do a part 2 of it. And so if that's interesting to you, I say go ahead, apply down below. Other than that, I thank you for being here. Hit the thumbs up and the likes button. I love you. Subscribe if you are brand new and you resonate with this genuine message.